Hi guys, I'm back with the second Crafty Twins mood board challenge. This time it was myself who put together the mood board for all of us to use, and so here it is. Of course, I couldn't go far past rainbows. And so I've actually got 2 pages here for you today because this one I'm about to start was super simple. I started with some photos from my scrap room. I just went around taking all the colourful photos that I could. My crafty space is just my haven, and it is filled with like every colour of the rainbow, so I thought it worked perfectly with this mood board. And the other piece from the mood board that I was super inspired by was just that yellow quote. But I decided instead of using letter stickers, I thought I would do a bit of brush script. It has been a really long time since I've done any brush scripting, so I'm just using some Liquitex black ink and my number 2 brush, which is so old I can't even tell you what brand it is because the brand has rubbed off it. And I am just going to do some scripting on my yellow paper here. So I've just trimmed the yellow paper so it's going to cover up the entire left side of my page. And I am just, so this is how slow I brush script. It's really slow, and I have sped this up for you so you don't have to spend the next half hour watching me script some words. And so I'm just scripting my quote here, which I don't know where I heard it from or where I've seen it, but I just liked the saying, live your life in full color, which is what I am attempting to do. So I have just scripted that, and I am going to leave that to dry, and now it is dry. You can see how much it's soaked through the back of the page there. I probably should have put some paper down because it did soak through onto my desk as well. And I'm just going to carefully as I can, which you'll see doesn't go well, stick that down onto the left hand side of my page. Now, because the paper was a bit warped and I did a really poor job of sticking it down, it is a little bit crinkly, hard to see on video. It looks not too bad, but in real life, very crinkly. So I'm just going to live with it. That's, says everything about life really, doesn't it? And so all I've got left to do on this page really is just stick down my little square photos, just sticking them onto a grid, just straight down onto the right hand side. And then I just wanted to add something else. I wasn't quite sure what, but I thought I've got a huge stash of these enamel dots, so I thought I would just add a few of those in some of the same colours, some on the left, some on the right, just to tie it all together. So that is that super simple page done. So like I said, because this one was so simple, and as I was working with the mood board, I sort of had 2 ideas that I really wanted to try. So I'm going to do a second one. My inspiration for this one is all of that repeat stamping, which is, like red on pink. So I'm going to do something similar to that. So I've just trimmed out another separate piece of paper, and I'm using the Maker's Gonna Make stamp set from Kelly Stamps. And I probably should have got a bigger block because, it was ridiculous trying to squish this stamp onto this tiny little block. I'm going to do something similar but just on white paper, so I'm stamping the stamp once first in pink, and then I'm going to stamp the whole rest of the page with the same stamp, so the same sort of repeat stamp look but with blue ink instead. And of course this takes me a considerable amount of time too, and so I'm going to whip through that as well. So here we go, I'm just filling in all the little gaps, and that's my repeat stamping page done. So I can stick that into my book. My book's getting super fat, so I find it easier to flip a few pages round just to try to help the page that I'm working on stay as flat as possible. And then I can glue this in. I do a much better job of this one. And now I've got this Instax photo, and I'm just going to stick this here. So the other thing I really loved from the mood board was the picture of the frame with the sort of pom-pom garland on it. So what I wanted to see whether I could do was replicate that, but in paper and as flat as possible, because, I don't want my truffle notebook to get super fat. So I have gone to my little scrap bin here, and I'm just using, I think it's like a 3/4 inch circle punch. It might even be 1/2 inch, just to punch out a whole pile of circles. So I really had no colour scheme or anything. I was just picking out papers I loved in all different colours, sort of rainbow sort of colours. I'm not going to make these rainbow ordered, but what I'm going to do is just run these through my sewing machine, just one after the other, to make a wee garland of circles. So I felt like this sort of replicated the look from that photo, and so then all I'm going to do is just use them and sort of drape it across my page. I'm going to start on the top right hand corner because I want it to sort of drape down on the diagonal. And I'm not going to glue every single one of them down. I'm just going to glue them down at certain points. So I sort of want it to look like it is just draped over the page. So some of them will be stuck down and some of them will be loose. Now all I did try to do was be careful on the spine of the notebook to make sure that I wasn't going to end up folding one of the circles. Like I wanted the gap in the thread to be across the centre. Didn't quite get this quite right, so I'm going to glue this one down, and then the 3 on the other side were a little bit tight, so I'm going to end up peeling that circle off and just moving it a little bit. But for now this one's going to be my end. And then I can just trim that off. I did do more than I ended up needing, but I'm sure I will use them eventually. So you can see here it's just too tight, so I've just carefully peeled that off and moved it until it sits nicely, and then they all sort of jangle about. So I love how they move when you open the page, that they're not all stuck down like that. I really love the movement it gives it. And then, as usual, I've just got a little bit of journaling that I have typed on my typewriter, and I am just going to glue them underneath the photo. I think it adds a little bit of balance to the page. It just needed something in that sort of bottom right hand corner. You can head over to Essie's YouTube channel and check out the gorgeousness that she's created. I'll leave the link in the description box below. If you're inspired to give creating a page with this mood board a go, then head on over to my blog where you can grab a copy of the mood board, and please tag me in because I am so excited to see what you guys can create with this one. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you're so inclined, and I'll see you next time. Bye!